Hello and welcome to Roleplay Rejects, where we play new and unusual tabletop role-playing games. In Side Quest, we're taking a break from our longer stories to play just a few sessions of some very unique role-playing games out there. So sit back and enjoy.
Is it that thing?
I
No.
fixed it. Everyone stop looking at me. Audio listeners, they're staring at me. Damien's getting up. He's hitting me again. FBI, open up. He's mad at me. He's fuming.
Screaming.
There's
he's
smoke
beating him
coming
with
out
the
of his
mic
ears.
now.
He has a train whistle. Auga. Is that racist? No. Why would that be racist?
Why would it be racist?
Let me know, listeners, if that's racist.
Awooga? Isn't
Auga.
that's the sound a submarine makes.
What?
We have one submarine
That's the
listener.
sound of an old car horn.
No, it's the sound of a
It's
cartoon
also
character who
the
just saw
eyes.
Jessica Rabbit.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a periscope as a kid. It was cool.
Dude! Why are you so much cooler than us?
Why do you say that?
Because submarines have
Got
periscopes.
it. Yeah.
And I don't know, I had one at my grandma's house.
You had a submarine at your grandma's house?
Probably. I don't know. We had a lot of stuff at her house.
Weren't you landlocked?
No.
Okay.
What?
Sorry. Fuck.
I grew up by the ocean.
What'd
I don't know
Yeah.
why I said it like
do?
that, but
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna have to guess which ocean.
The biggin.
Yeah.
Damn it,
The
Joseph.
Mississippi.
You made it too easy.
Which one is the big one? Aren't they both pretty
Oh,
big?
he's bad at geography.
That's fucked up.
Let's end this conversation before it starts again.
Okay.
Okay.
What
So,
doesn't know
hey,
what the
listeners.
Pacific Ocean is.
I know one specific ocean.
What is
The
it?
Atlantic.
You're not going for
Sometimes
the
forget
ryming?
There's mountains
Pacific,
the
Pacific.
Atlantic.
No, because that's too predictable.
little
Oh.
under.
Are there only two oceans?
No. There's
There's-
no. I don't want to be
They're
wrong.
the seven seas.
Yeah.
There's
Is the sea an ocean? The
the
Red Sea is not an
Arctic,
ocean,
the
is it?
Antarctic, right?
That's
Is
a
that-
sea.
Yes.
Or am I just thinking of it? Antarctica?
Isn't it kind of fucked up? That's like the Antarctic, but there's no like ice ants.
You know, the polar
Shut it
bears
up.
are the apex predators of the world. That's why they live on top of it.
That's true. True facts.
Fun facts.
We had balls here. Do we have more?
No,
BAWLS, the energy drink.
they're delicious.
They're yummy.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor
You're
us
one
balls.
of the few energy drinks I'm not allergic to. so
Honestly, I've
shout
been
out.
drinking balls since I was a teenager.
I don't.
Like I've been drinking this energy drink.
Have
since
you
I was
really?
a teenager.
I didn't
yeah.
know about it until Joseph brought it up that
The
one
blue
time.
kind.
Yeah, dude.
I
That
They-
blue kind is crazy.
They used to sponsor LAN parties back in the Halo days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like original Halo
back when
1
we were
days.
playing Unreal Tournament.
I think I actually drank it while I was at like we call it Friday Night Gamers,
Yep.
and it was just like a local gaming spot.
That's the thing. Like,
The good old days.
I think,
we
like,
sound so old right now.
yeah, the GameStop at my house, like near my house, sold them.
Balls?
So, yeah,
Or LAN parties.
balls.
I think the only land, well, one of my earliest memories of a LAN party was going to some guy's house where he had 8 computers set up for
Mhm.
everybody,
Nice.
and we played StarCraft
Okay.
Get that set up in
versus
his
each
house?
other. Yeah,
That's crazy.
and it
That's
was
awesome.
me at like 6 or 7 at most, because I was just obsessed with StarCraft. Still am. It's easily the best RTS in all of existence,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I refuse to be
Spreadsheet.
swayed. But it was me as a wee little lad
Hmm.
and the guy's house that we were at
Mhm.
versus the other 6 on a team.
Nice.
Me, I was like, ooh, Protoss. Oh, look at that. I just made my first, Reaver, the like mechanical slug
Mhm.
thing. And I was like, just slowly moving it out on the map. And next thing that I know, we won. The one guy just tanked everybody.
That's awesome. Good for him.
You're
Yeah.
a nerd, man.
LAN parties
bit.
were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Remember just hooking up 2 Xboxes and being like, look, we can have 8 people playing at once.
Did you ever set up the cardboard to make sure no one's screen peeked?
Oh, so we would play like one person had to go in the hallway with the like small TV, and the other team was like in the actual room. Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah. We made sure there was no screen peeking. That's very important.
I think when I played with my brother, I definitely screen peeked. I feel bad about that. Sorry. But
I feel like everyone does it at some point.
Hey,
Not me.
some of us
There's
have
a-
honor.
Yeah, some
There's
of us
a
are just
reason
some
the
of us are just good
cardboard's
at the
put up
game.
in the first place, you know?
well, there's that one Halo map where it's just a bunch of teleporters that just jump you to the
Ugh.
different rooms.
Yep.
And it was that one, and I think that like I got kind of good at just being like, oh, he's in that room. This teleporter, this teleporter, this teleporter. Bang, bang, bang.
I have a really bad habit of looking at, like, when I'm playing a multiplayer game, just looking at the wrong screen. And then I'm like, why did I just die?
I hate it when
I
that
was doing
happens.
so well. And then I'm like, oh, that's because I was the right side. Like, I have to physically be matching that side with the other person. And even then, sometimes I still
It's really hard when you
Fuck
don't
up.
have like that, like a literal split screen. If it's all like arcade mode, like Diablo.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Like-
if it's especially if like
Or
you have
Super
bad
Smash
eyesight
Brothers.
that you've
Yeah.
been ignoring for a while,
Oh, especially
then
Super
you're
Smash
like,
Bros.
oh, I thought that was me. I have been shooting these rocks for a while.
Been running into a wall for the past 30
Yeah, I was
minutes.
wondering what you were doing. That was
Wow.
weird. It
I
was
jumped
me.
off Hyrule so many times.
Happens to the best of us.
Except for Wesley. He's amazing at Super Smash.
I am pretty good at Super Smash.
Any fighting game.
I
I'm
think, I
bad
think
at
I
it.
am the top of pretty good, but I'm not like crazy good.
I
You could
do all
beat
right with like
any of our
Injustice.
listeners.
I could probably beat most of our listeners. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's like
in
a
the
couple...
game too.
I'm sure there's a couple of freaks out there that are really good at Smash Brothers.
There's
I'm
a
very bad at it.
there was someone that I used to play with because he had Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and it didn't matter what character, it didn't matter how many people were going against him. Unbeatable.
That's
I've met-
Wesley.
No, I've met one guy who and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, he beats me worse than I beat you. Like by a significant
Dang.
margin.
That's impressive.
He makes me look really bad at the game. Yeah. He's really fucking good at the game. Black Tiger, if you're listening, you're really good at Smash Brothers.
That's one of the games that I don't know who I am, and I always
You're
fuck it up.
Stevie, man.
I run off the ledges. I'm just gone,
Yeah.
and I'm my own worst enemy in that game.
Aren't we all, man? But like in life.
No, well, yeah, I am.
I feel
I-
like to be good at those games, you have to like really dedicate some time to it. Or maybe it's just like you have to dedicate time to fighting games just to get there.
I do
Yeah.
think they have a
Dude.
lot of splash technicalities. Like once you're really good at one fighting game, you're probably pretty good at a lot of them.
Yeah, like just comboing and like sending like one stick one way to do a certain attack while I'm moving the other way. It just does not compute, especially when I haven't been playing video games in a while. Because I
Because
go
yard work now.
I go
He's a
through
dad.
stints where I'm like, I
He's not a
am
dad.
just like so obsessed with
This is-
this one game, and I'll get really into it for like a month or two, and then I'll let dust collect on our Xbox until Misty wants to play Skyrim, which
Which
is
is
the stage I'm
always-
in right now.
The thing
Yeah.
about most fighting games is that people are really bad at just not getting hit. So once you learn how to not get hit, you go from pretty bad to pretty okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got Injustice and Injustice 2 for the
Nice.
story. So
Okay.
that's the level of player that I am.
I got pretty good with Injustice.
You
too.
were really fucking good.
I
with
got a
Injustice.
lot of characters up to level 20.
Plays it.
I think the cap got increased, but
It did, so that means nothing now. But
It
I
just
got
means you
like
gotta play
legendary
again.
gear for a bunch of them. I remember Wonder Woman, Green Arrow. Green Arrow has this really annoying move that you can kind of spam.
was it Blue Beetle also?
Yeah, Blue Beetle, Red Hood.
Love Red Hood.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is sick. And then one other one that I have forgotten, and that's fine. I'm not Batman.
I was never a
Mm.
big fan of
Batman.
Injustice.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like the characters. I just don't like how the game feels. I feel the same way about Mortal Kombat. I like the characters, but I hate playing it. It just doesn't feel good to me. It feels wonky.
Misty and I were talking about DC versus Marvel earlier. Feelings? Thoughts?
I
Think I like that game either. Is that a game? Am I making that
No,
up?
no, we're saying like
Just
like the Marvel universe versus like the
DC
DC
universe.
Comics universe.
No feelings about it.
No? Okay.
I am going to take the cinematic pieces completely out.
Okay.
You
All
need
right.
cinema?
I'm gonna take
listeners?
the like. I'm mostly gonna focus on like lore wise,
Okay.
because I feel like that's where you should really judge these two.
Okay.
I think they both definitely have their merits. If I want like a more like lean more towards like the kind of like feel good sort of thing, I feel like Marvel has a lot more feel good, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man kinds of things.
Mhm.
If I want a little bit more broody and a little bit more deep characters, I go DC for
Okay.
that one.
Listeners see Switzerland. He's not picking a side.
If I had like if you held me at gunpoint and told me that I have to pick, I think I might go DC.
Okay.
You are a broody boy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Dark Knight's metal is really fucking cool. That's where you've got the whole like. I will say, Superman, overplayed.
Okay.
Um,
That's fair.
but the other characters are really cool. Fucking Atrocitus of the Red Lanterns.
I don't know
The
that one.
only lantern
Atrocitus.
that
Oh,
was
he is
actually
cool.
made, rather than like all the other ones came from like the same source, but the Red Lanterns, the Lantern of fucking Anger, was forged out of a demon's heart.
Okay. Okay.
And thus there was like a whole big battle against like basically the like the culmination of all the different lantern colors, but red was not a part of it because
Anger.
it was forged, and they
Okay.
were like a significant part in that fight or something.
Fake lamp.
So I judge
moths.
them almost entirely off of the movies.
Yeah.
Also valid.
Because I have read very few comic books. I've read a handful, but I think Marvel has a better cinematic universe, like with how everything ties into each other, but DC has better individual movies.
Mm.
So, like the Dark Knight Rises, amazing. One of the best movies ever made. Same with Joker.
Joker
The
was
Do you mean
Joaquin
Dark
Phoenix
Knight,
one.
or do you mean Dark Knight Rises?
Wait,
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Yep. Yeah, the Heath Ledger Joker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is amazing too.
Sorry, I did not hear that. I heard walking phoenix.
Me too. Me too.
And I was like, what?
yeah, me too.
And then I was like, what? What is that? And then no.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Who is
That
Phoenix?
was a good movie.
She is.
Um,
Joaquin.
No.
no,
Dark Phoenix.
Dark
Dark
Phoenix
Oh,
is
that's Jean Grey.
X-Men,
Thank
Jean
you.
Grey.
Yep.
When she kind of like no,
X-Men
it's
is Marvel.
hold on,
He's thinking.
isn't that she's got like a split personality
Yeah,
or something?
but
going
it's
on.
Jean Grey.
Yeah, it's Jean Grey, but Dark Phoenix is the other half.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was busted in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh yeah.
That game was fucking ridiculous. Fun to play though.
I
Awful, though.
like Marvel. I don't know a lot about lore. I just
I don't
like the Marvel characters better, in my personal opinion.
know much about DC, so I feel like I really can't weigh in.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I don't know. Well,
She's copying me.
I don't know. I just like Marvel better. I don't want to say it's because I'm a simple person, because that feels insulting to people who like Marvel more. But it just feels simpler. Even though there's a lot of complicated lore, I feel like you can enjoy Marvel stuff without needing to know lore a lot easier.
I'm going to say something controversial yet brave.
She's tired.
Okay.
Marvel is the Apple
It is.
of this debate.
Ooh. Yeah. Good point.
What
Yeah,
is what is DC? Android?
Mhm.
Did you know that until
Okay.
recently,
Then I side with DC.
people who have had Apple phones, they couldn't like Like the icons just go to the next available spot, and you can't like have some on bottom, some on top.
Yeah, I did know that.
I didn't know that was
didn't
the
know
case, and it's only recently changed. And it's like,
Yeah,
I
they've been
would've
living in
hated
the
that.
dark ages. For
This
eons.
is crazy. If you have an iPhone, you're getting scammed. I'm gonna keep it a buck and a half.
You're paying
Unless
way
you
too
love,
much.
unless you love taking photos, and even then you're kind of getting scammed.
Even
I'm
then,
gonna keep it a
the
buck and a
pixels?
half. Yeah,
you
dude,
could buy
like-
a nice camera for the same price,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then have a phone that's better.
but that's just
A theory.
In theory.
my opinion.
Okay, speaking of Marvel and DC, we
Oh, that was a good
are going to be
transition.
doing character creation for
Shadows of a
mutants. Mutants
Got 'em.
and Mutants and Masterminds.
For some reason, I thought I was gonna say it.
Did
You
you
wanna
want
do it
to?
again?
No, it's too late.
No, we'll rerun
Take
it.
two.
Oh fuck! I don't even remember how we started. Speaking of Marvel and DC, we're going to be doing character creation for
Mutants and Masterminds. I don't know why. It just doesn't. It's not the same. Okay, we'll just use the first one.
No, keep them both in there, editor.
yeah, we're keeping both in
Okay,
there.
All
fine.
right.
Do it again.
Wait, I'm
Uh,
not editing this.
No.
Today we're
All right, whose
playing-
turn's next? So Mutants and Masterminds. This is just a superhero TTRPG. It is a D20 based system. So it's just going to be D20 rolls plus whatever attributes that we have that are applicable to the roll. But it is a little bit unique because there is no such thing as hit points. What it is you will roll for an attack versus the target, whether it's like a dodge defense or maybe like a parry defense if you're in close combat with someone. And if you manage to hit them, then you have to roll against the toughness of the character. And based off of how much they fail on that toughness check, you're applying like conditions to them. So similar to City of Mist, where you have, I think in City of Mist it was if you have like a rank 6 condition, you're incapacitated. In this one, I believe it is rank 5 in which you are incapacitated. But otherwise, it kind of works like that. It's a really, really in-depth, dare I say, the most in-depth character creation process of any game I have ever played. Which I still think they do a very good job on making it accessible. It's definitely complicated. There's definitely a lot of like numbers adding up, and trying to like allocate your different power points, which represent your character's like skills and attributes and their actual superpowers and everything. Yeah, we'll get into that here shortly. Yes,
What is an in-depth character creation?
in my opinion,
yes.
Example.
customizability and complexity.
Can you give an example of complexity?
So complexity would be kind of like a lot of moving parts, because if we take something such as Dungeons and Dragons, for instance, what do you have for your 2-hit roll? You have a proficiency bonus, and then you have your attribute that's associated to that. In this one, it kind of depends on what exactly you are fighting with. So you're going to have to add in your attributes. You're going to have to add in your skill ranks associated to whatever attack you're attempting to do. Any powers that are applicable may affect one or both of those different modifiers. In addition, your weapon can have different modifiers associated to it as well. And each of those different attributes that total up into your one roll there all have different extras. You can add flaws to them. You can add different like weird quirks. So maybe when you punch some guy, it also weakens them for some certain attribute and all of that. It's very, very customizable in that aspect.
I'll say something crazy. I'm gonna revisit this thought at the end of
What did you call me?
character creation, because I don't really have enough to formulate this now, or to say this and have it be fair. I feel like in a lot of things in life, more, and maybe this is valid. I guess I don't know what depth really means in this context, but I feel like a lot of times you just add more options and people think there's more depth. But like, I wouldn't say, like, if I went to an ice cream shop that made ice cream in house every day, I wouldn't say that Baskin Robbins it has any like edge just because they have more flavors. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think the quality of the ice cream is what matters, and I think because continuing to use D&D as an example, right? I think you can argue the same point as far as like damage rolls go, because you have, if you're using a strength-based weapon, you have your strength modifier, you have any bonuses to the weapon, you have any enchantments or curses on the weapons, you have any feats that apply. So I feel like there's also a great number of things that could affect that roll as well. I think this game has I have a lot of variance buff, which can attract it attracts people like me. I love options.
Mhm.
I think can also like spook people away because some people don't like options.
I'm stressed.
Yes.
Same.
But I just don't know if that necessarily means like depth. Obviously I don't know yet because I haven't read the thing too deeply. I just want to ask because I think depth is like a real nuanced thing, and I always like to hear what people refer to it as, because sometimes I think it's easy to mask or easy to like present depth that maybe isn't there.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. I would be curious to hear what you think after the character creation, and then also after we end up playing. Which our game master is actually not here for this one. We are doing this ahead of time because our game master is only going to be here for just a short period of time, but we will leave the reveal for next episode.
Surprise.
You'll only be here for an hour.
That'd be wild.
Um,
Speed through it.
His name.
So there are a lot of different supplements for Mutants and Masterminds, but really all that you need is the Hero's Handbook, and this will have just about everything that you will need in here. It has the conditions, it has everything for player characters, for creating a character, and then also the Game Master stuff in there. It's not like separated into a separate book. There are supplements for Game Masters, like there's Game Master Guide and Game Master's Toolkit, but they're not strictly necessary in order to run an effective game of Mutants and Masterminds, which I really do appreciate. Yeah, so throughout here, there are like quick create characters that you can make where it has general templates such as like battle suits or like a construct or like just a crime fighter, like Batman-esque kind of a character. And all you would have to do is just kind of go through, choose a couple different options, and then you would have a character. However, we are going through the much more in-depth character creation. Well, I'll refrain from saying in-depth. The more customizable
That's not
character
what I
creation
meant.
option.
You can say in depth.
You hate him.
No,
I-
you hate me and everything that I like. But yeah, so what we usually will start with is a character concept. Now, Mutants and Masterminds can support anything from the dark and broody DC universe style, all the way to the straight up comic book olden days of kapows and whams. Really, just kind of however you want to flavor it. This book does, or this system does support.
A nice umami.
Yeah. And it also has what are called power levels associated to it. So power levels kind of denote what tier of superhero you are. It goes anything from just like beginning to understand that you have superpowers, up to what we will be playing as a power level 10, which that one, yes. No, sorry. Power level 10, where you are a pretty well-known superhero. You are just not like in the Avengers per se. Think friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, not Thor, if that makes sense.
Isn't Spider-Man in the Avengers?
You're a local hero.
He is in the Avengers sometimes. He's
Oh.
not as much of a permanent member. We're talking about let's take the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Daredevil.
Daredevil
Oh.
would probably be anywhere between power level 8 of a masked adventurer to a power level 10 superhero.
Yeah. Okay.
Think like some of the X-Men would probably be power level 10. Some of the other like superhuman teams might be power level 10. If you watched Invincible, some of the teams there might have been power level 10.
Yeah.
But it goes all the way up to like power level 12 is considered big leagues. Power level 14 is world protectors. So Doctor
Avengers.
Strange, some of the more powerful members of the Avengers, people like that.
Doctor Strange is so fucking cool.
Yeah, he is. All the way up to Cosmic, which is power level 20. And that's where you're going to have
Or
probably
Mamu.
Thanos, Darkseid, those guys.
I'm not laughing at anything.
You don't need a reason to laugh, Queen.
What?
What?
I'm just laughing at nothing relevant. It's not relevant. It's not worth mentioning.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's
Forgiven?
late.
It is late.
It's 1 a.m., listeners.
It's not.
Okay, well, one of us
It's
is lying.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like 10.
Who you gonna
but
believe,
we're
her, me, or
old,
him?
So.
Listeners, pick your truther. Would I lie to you?
So for each power level that you are, you get 15 power points in order to customize your character. So since we are power level 10, we are getting a grand total of
Ba-da-bum.
150 power points.
Easy math.
This is, from what I've been told, is about the average power level that most groups end up playing at. Obviously, they can adjust from there based off of what kind of a adventure they want to run. This does apply some limitations, such as your total skill modifiers can't be above power level plus 10, so in our case, 20. In addition, your attack and damage effects cannot total above power level times 2, also 20.
Easy math.
What that means is if you want to hit harder, you're going to have to be less accurate in hitting. Vice versa, however, if you want to hit more accurately, you're going to be doing less damage in order to maintain that power level cap or attack and damage cap. In addition, the same goes with your dodge or parry and your toughness. So if you want to just not get hit, you're going to want to pump more points into your dodge or your parry skills. If you want to literally walk through fields of gunfire and missiles and nuclear bombs, you're probably going to want to put more points into your toughness. Lastly is your fortitude and your will bonus cannot exceed power level times 2. Fortitude being your resistance to disease, will being your like mind resistance.
You said they can't be above what?
Power level times 2.
Okay.
So 20.
When you group these, you mean like that total thing? Like
That
both of
total
those
thing.
can't be above 20.
Both of those combined
Cannot be above 20.
be above
Yeah.
20. Basically, what it seems like to me is that you have to have some kind of a vulnerability.
Mhm.
There are ways in which you can just become immune to certain damage effects or to toughness-based damage effects. They cost a lot of power points, but that is a thing that you can do. There's usually going to be a way to deal with you, just as there is a way to deal with anybody in any superhero comic.
Yeah, like that one
show,
guy in RuneScape
whatever.
that's like, no man can hurt me. But then you roll up with the woman character and you just fucking.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's a
In
quest. That's a whole
RuneScape?
quest line in RuneScape.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you want
I
to finish
only
that
know
quest and
that
you made a
in Lord of the
man,
Rings.
you have to go swap. There's like a lady. She's like, you want to switch? And then you go complete the quest, and if you want to switch back,
That's cool. Yeah, I think there's quite a few.
These
Sorry.
dying listeners. You're good.
Dude, you're coughing. I have hiccups right now.
I'm chilling.
I want to die.
I'm like kind of burpy. Like I just feel like I don't know
Just-
how to behave
Sorry.
on the mic right now. Like it's just every 2 seconds I have to pull it away.
It felt like, you know, in Mean Girls when they're all just waiting for.
Yeah.
And she's just like, sometimes
I
my
get-
breath smells
yeah,
bad in
I
the
get
morning.
really
That's the
bad
vibe
breath
that I
in the
got
morning.
from. You were like, me too.
My nail
That
beds
quest in
suck.
RuneScape is really fun. It's like a whole riddle-based quest. So there's that one with the guy. No man, it hurt me. There's another one where it's like, what is it? It's like the wolf, the chicken, and the bag of seed.
Oh, yeah.
And you have a boat, and you can't leave certain ones together. And there's like a couple other ones. That quest is really fun. It's just riddles.
Can't even remember what I was talking about.
We were talking about some kind of vulnerability, and then you're like, yeah, if you want to be immune to something, you can. Like you can walk through bullets, but it's really expensive.
Oh, that's right. Like even Superman, who is like pretty close to like almost cosmic level being, kryptonite. Like he's
Throw
got
a rock at him.
throw
What
a
is-
rock at him, or if you're the Joker, you pump him full of your Joker toxin, and he just
That's
There's a
horrifying.
whole comic series about that.
Joker?
Hardly know her.
I thought.
These hiccups are terrible.
I'm so sorry.
I thought
Having
that was
hiccups is the
Scarecrow.
worst.
Why did I think that was Scarecrow?
Scarecrow also has like fear toxin. That can
Oh,
affect
okay,
stuff.
that's why. Real
So-
original Joker.
Once you have a character concept in mind, this is when you would start going through all of your attributes, skills, advantages, and powers. I don't necessarily think there is a like the book recommends kind of going in order of attributes and then into skills, then into advantages, then into superpowers, and then like gear and equipment. I don't necessarily think that you have to go in any particular order. But I'm just going to talk about them as we come across them in the book.
Okay.
So, starting off, abilities. So, in order to increase one of your core abilities, it costs 2 power points per 1 rank. All of your ranks start at 0, which is an average adult. So, perfectly average human being, you start at 0. If you get all the way up to 5 in an attribute, you are the best in a nation in whatever that ability is. So if it's strength, you are the strongest person in an entire nation
The low price of 10 power points.
for the low price of 10 power points. If you get all the way up to 7, you are the best ever peak of human achievement.
Okay. 7.
So me.
You're Batman.
Yeah.
Best.
I don't think
You're-
Batman's...
Swag.
Yeah, you would pretty much be like Batman. He's
'Cause he was like,
supposedly
I work
considered.
That was his power.
He's supposedly considered like a
The world's
peak
best
human.
detective.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's ever
Physique.
met Ryu.
Probably not.
Street Fighter go crazy.
And then anything after 7 is considered superhuman levels. Keep in mind, you don't necessarily have to be like a power user in order to reach those levels. That's just what the game calls these different tiers.
Okay.
I like that there's a very well established baseline for like what a normal human would be. Because I feel like that's something that is lacking in a lot of other fantasy type games is it's like what is average, right? Because
What is
a lot of
normal?
the time people are looking at it like, well, they can't be too dumb, so they've got to have
At least a 0 multiplier, right? Like,
yeah,
not everybody's walking
exactly.
around with a -2 to int. Well,
exactly. Like I like that this is like very well defined of like 0 doesn't mean you're bad at it. It's just you're not
exceptionally good. Like,
wild at it. Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna be the guy someone goes to.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And it does go in reverse too. You can only get down to a -5 in an ability unless you do something else that we'll get to later.
Do I get 2 points back?
You get 2 points back for each one.
Whoa.
So it would be like -1 is you're below average or you're about like teenager kind of a level. So like you're still capable, obviously, but not like to fully developed individual.
Mhm.
All the way down to like -3 is they call it younger child. And then all the way down to -5 of completely inept or disabled.
Jeez.
I think it is actually perfectly valid to create characters with like a -5 rank. I think it'll be interesting story wise, but
Like
also
Professor
like
Xavier.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Exactly.
thinking of.
Mhm.
Professor Xavier, or you could be someone who has a inept or disabled strength score, but maybe that's when your power comes into play to help you move objects without having to use your own strength or anything.
That's cool.
Mhm.
The abilities. So we have strength. I'm not really going to go into that one. It's strength. Stamina. Now, stamina is your health or your endurance, physical peak, physical resilience kind of a thing. This is going to affect your toughness, which is when an attack hits, does it do any damage? After that is agility. So this is where your dodge comes into play. They have dexterity and agility separated. So agility is your dodge defense, your initiative, acrobatics, and stealth checks. Dexterity is your hand-eye coordination. Ranged attacks is kind of what you're looking at there. Then they have a fighting attribute. So where strength is how hard you punch, fighting is do you make contact. Definitely for close combat attacks, but it is also good for parries.
Perry the platypus. I don't know why I whispered that. I'm so sorry. That was probably really creepy. I like
even
went to
think it
say it, and then I was
I
like,
didn't think it was
my
weird.
voice box doesn't work anymore, I guess.
With agility and dexterity, if I want my character to be throwing knives, that would be a dexterity.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Mm.
And then agility would be
Weave.
dodging it out of the way. Man, these hiccups, man.
Someone scared. Someone scare him.
Please,
Boo.
please.
You're
scare
not a
me.
fish.
You forgot to pay your taxes.
Hello, this is the IRS.
Oh man.
I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Why is he reaching me about my car?
Hey, is this your IP address?
Yeah,
Oof.
1111111.
I wish. That'd
Hey.
be so cool.
Check out this cool link.
Do you still have them?
I think so.
Dang it.
Yeah, we can
That
stop
works
trying
on me
though.
usually.
You're not a fish.
Yeah. I don't know.
Does that scare you? Not being
No,
a fish.
it's just like,
Oh, it's something that's so out there that it resets.
yeah.
Oh, it's like when you got to sneeze.
Yeah. I don't
Thank you.
don't know if it actually works, but
Intellect. How smart you are. So this is a little bit more skills oriented. So there are some skills like expertise or technology or maybe treatment. Next up is awareness. Now this is kind of your perception, more or less. But it's also like your wisdom. Well, it's just kind of like your wisdom. So resist like your will defense for resisting like mental sorts of attacks. But it's also for perception or like insight into a person, just the little minor details that you pick up. And then lastly, it is presence. So presence is your charisma, force of personality, deception, intimidation, the works.
Is there? What is the upper limit to these? Is it 10?
No?
Is it 100?
It's, well, I guess 20 because you can't have any of your skill checks be above power level plus 10.
Okay.
Just do note that if you
Yeah.
put all of your points into your attributes, you
No
can't,
powers for you.
you can't put any powers that will like enhance it. You can't put any ranks into skills associated to those attributes because you cannot go over that cap.
Okay.
I would actually recommend most like as far as like quote unquote min maxy kind of things go, I would put more points into your skills to enhance the actual abilities that you want to focus on than I would into attributes. If there is like a group of skills that you want to be really good at, like intelligence, for instance, if you want to be really good at technology and medical treatments and all of that stuff, then put the points into intelligence because it'll be more bang for your buck to put your power points there, if that makes sense.
But if what you want is like really niche, you
Yeah.
would wait for the skills.
Yeah.
Or focus more on the skills. Augers.
So absent abilities. I think what? No, say it.
It's not even true, bro. You said we might have to cut this. You said absent abilities. I was like, just like my dad. It's not true. My dad
Just
was
like
there.
my dad, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, put it there.
Golly.
Absent
want us to go-
abilities.
I don't give a shit.
I don't
But
care.
it's up to the group.
Well,
That's...
like my dad's gonna hear it. Neither is yours. Sorry.
This is what we get for recording at 1 a.m.
Maybe we should cut it.
Take 3. Absent abilities.
Absent abilities. So you can, instead of having like a -5 to a certain attribute, you can just have that attribute not apply to your character. Do you want to be a I don't know, a AI that's like hooked into a server? Then you might not have I don't know,
Strength.
like strength or
Agility.
agility because you can't really move from your server. Um,
That's
if you
really
want
cool.
to, yeah, if you want to be like an undead kind of a creature, you would probably remove your stamina because you would treat your own physique as an inanimate object rather than as like
Something
human.
you need to protect.
or
ouch,
something that you
hurts.
need to protect,
You wouldn't
yeah.
have that, yeah.
Mm.
So I'll just quickly go through them. You can do this for absolutely every single attribute. And in doing so, you will get 10
Count them.
10 power points back. Same as if you did just the -5 to it. But in this case, you just cannot do any skills associated with that attribute.
Okay.
That's really cool flavor wise potentially. Like I like that is an option.
Yeah, and it'll really apply for like if you have a minion or a sidekick or a summoned entity. Like you could summon Undead Golem X, and then in so doing, you would have power points that you can like put into that creature. And one of the things that I would probably recommend doing is removing his stamina, probably also removing his intellect and presence because it's an undead creature. It probably doesn't have that.
Okay. Cool.
Imagine an undead creature just starts fucking talking to you.
So
Like
good,
a zombie
bro.
rolls up and it's just like, I'm gonna eat you. And you're like, I wish you wouldn't. That's horrifying.
I got this.
Puts on
I
a
don't know
bib,
why
yum
you
yum
said it
yum.
like-
I got this barbecue sauce here. It's for you.
Then we go into defenses and initiative. So there are 5 total defenses. There is dodge. So this is based off of your agility. And this is reaction time and nimbleness, ability to avoid ranged attacks. Fortitude.
So do we carry these numbers over from our abilities then?
Yes.
Okay. Easy.
Ooh.
Thank you.
What?
Did you already put points in your abilities?
Yeah.
Slow the fuck
What
down,
did you
Joseph.
do?
What I do? I put like 60 of my points into the abilities, which might be a lot.
not
And
That
I
is
might
a lot.
Sounds like a
I might
fuck
change
ton.
that later.
How are you gonna make
Like
black
20
holes?
total.
But I
Is
just
that too little?
I want him to be real real chunky, real like stamina
Real tough.
dense.
Endurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put a lot of points into that.
A high constitution score.
Exactly. But stamina in this
Mhm.
Toughness.
Yeah, I found that like the 2 characters that I was like playing around with, I think I only ended up putting about 30 points into attributes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I mean, again,
I might go back and
Yeah.
change this,
Mhm.
but
build it however you want.
Yeah.
So that was dodge. Fortitude, stamina based, health, resistance to poison and disease. Parry, So it is based off of fighting, and it's your like countering or ducking underneath someone's blade. Avoid a foe's attempt at striking you. Usually like melee based. Then you have toughness. Toughness is stamina based, and it is your just ability to resist damage that you would normally take. And finally, it is will. That is your mental stability, resisting mental effects.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
If Joseph tries to punch me and I want to dodge that punch, that is fighting skill, or is that dodge skill?
Are you in melee with them?
Yes.
Then that would be a parry,
Okay. What?
which is a fighting skill.
Fighting. Okay. Cool.
Or a
Parry,
fighting
fighting.
attribute.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
But if I'm across the room and he throws a rock at me, that's
Then that
dodge.
would be dodge. Yes.
dodge.
Well,
Okay.
that's just rude.
Now, if he's trying to punch me, but I am not trying to fight back, would I?
That's parry.
It would still be
'Cause we're
parry
still in
because
melee
we're in
range.
melee.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
However, how
Parry.
it sounds like you are kitted out is your parry is not going to be very good, but it's going to be your toughness in which you're resisting his effects. So
So
you
I'd make contact, but you'd be like, "Look, man, that even hurt."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Stop."
Did you even hear me?
exactly.
Cool. Okay.
So defense can be improved with power points at a purchase price of 1 power point per +1 rank. You can do that with all of your defenses except for toughness.
Oh. Okay.
With toughness, there has to be some kind of degree of power
Okay.
associated to it in order for you to have that kind of an increase.
Wait, what?
Okay.
What is the rule?
You can
1 for 1.
increase at a 1-for-1 rate any of your defenses except for toughness.
Is it okay? I'm mostly right now listening, and then I'm gonna go back and put all my points in once I know how they split. Is that
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks.
writing
Absolutely.
this down,
Thanks,
but
Dad.
this is erasable, so I'm like probably gonna do the skills and be like, oh my god, I need more points, or I
Yeah.
have so many extra points.
Yeah,
Because the abilities are like this ability is like X amount, right? It's not like these where it's like an easy conversion.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to hear those. And
Yeah,
like
that's
pick
kinda where
those
I'm
first.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I would just like maybe write down notes
Yeah, I am.
as we go through. Da, 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 da.
You would think I'm in band all the notes I got.
That's
Goodness
good. That was good.
I wouldn't say all that. I don't know if it was good.
It was good.
I think it was pretty good.
was
Yeah.
pause.
Into skills. So I'm gonna kind of go through this one pretty quick, and probably the next one as well. So skills cost 1 power point per 2 skill ranks. So it's a lot cheaper to do skills than it is to do attributes. So keep in mind that generally speaking, if you don't have any skill ranks in there, you probably aren't trained in the skill. There are some skills that you need to be trained in order to do them. For instance,
Flying a
you
rocket
need to
ship?
be trained in. Sorry, hold on. You need to be trained in technology in order to understand technology. You need to be trained in treatment in order to understand treatment. Flying a rocket ship, that would be vehicles, and you need to be trained in that in order to fly a rocket ship.
Isn't it crazy that what is it? Wonder Woman has an invisible jet.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that fucking
Isn't
wild?
that wild? Like, how
Why
do you
isn't
do
that brought up more?
Isn't that crazy? That doesn't make sense. How do you not lose it?
Right? It's got to be, yeah. I
I
don't know.
I can barely find my car if it's like a big parking
That's what I'm
lot.
saying.
Yeah.
I got lost in my complex the other day.
Dude, I'll like park in a weird corner of the parking lot just so I remember where it's at.
I always make a point to look at the row number when I'm like at Walmart, but I forget by the time I get out.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I actually park myself in a spot that if I can see from the door.
Mhm.
I'm like, I can see the door can see me.
I just hit
Yeah,
the panic
I'll
that's
walk
button
fair.
in the
out and
car.
I'll eventually get there.
Mhm. And then my car goes, and I go, there I am.
My car doesn't do that.
Your car doesn't panic?
Oh, I don't use
Hey,
the panic button.
and
I just
panic.
thought you meant the unlock.
No. I have a panic
Or
button.
the
and it
lock.
goes,
Because you know how when you lock a car, usually it's just like beeps.
Mm-hmm.
Mine does not,
Silent car.
which is nice, but I hate it.
So skills. One power point per 2 skill ranks. And the skills are acrobatics, which is an agility based, athletics, strength based, close combat, fight based, deception, presence based, expertise, intelligence based, insight, awareness, intimidation, presence, investigation, intelligence, perception, awareness, persuasion, presence, ranged combat, dexterity, sleight of hand, dexterity, stealth, agility, technology, intelligence,
There's a page with these.
treatment, intelligence, and vehicles is dexterity based.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I have 5 dexterity, does that mean my ranged attacks is 5?
Currently, yes, until you start putting points into your ranged combat.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
And those can only go up to 10 combined.
20.
A grand total of 20.
20 combined. Okay.
Keep in mind, right, it is your 2 hit, or like your attack value, so it'd be ranged
Mhm.
plus your damage can't be higher than 20 total.
Okay.
So you could have 15, like plus 15 to your ranged combat roll, and then 5 damage.
Okay.
You could have 20 damage and absolutely nothing in your ranged combat, and that would be fine.
Okay.
What is damage?
Damage. So when you make the toughness check, it is against your damage value. So your initial to hit, right? How it would basically go is, let's say Joseph is trying to punch Wesley in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph will roll his close combat,
Mm-hmm. Let's
yeah,
say he
his
has
close combat skill,
Yeah.
plus 5.
Okay.
Rolls it. He got 15. We would then check your parry.
Mm-hmm.
Your parry, it was only 14.
Okay.
He manages to hit. Which then means we look at the damage value of your attack.
Okay.
What is that? Plus 10, let's say.
Where is that coming from, that damage value?
That is coming from the powers or abilities that you have
Okay.
later on.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Or like pieces of equipment. Basically, you would apply powers to pieces of equipment in order to apply a damage value for that piece of equipment.
Okay. Cool. Others.
But that would go against your toughness, and the worse you fail at that toughness check, the higher condition that you're at, and more likely to be incapacitated.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So skills again, really quick: acrobatics, athletics, close combat, deception, expertise, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, persuasion, ranged combat, sleight of hand, stealth, technology, treatment, vehicles. Do we have any question on any of those?
What is expertise?
Expertise.
That was a good question.
Expertise is a broad skill encompassing knowledge and training in a variety of specialized fields, particularly professional disciplines and scholarships. This is a skill in which you would have I'm going to call it a type associated to it. So it could be expertise forensics. And that would be an expertise that you would have.
Okay. So,
Expertise cooking, maybe.
yeah, that's
Might be something that you, in particular, you, Joseph, might want to look into.
yeah, for my character. Sweet. Okay.
Each of the skills do have different things that you can do with them. I would recommend just kind of looking at the book there because there's a lot that goes into it. Like deception is what you would use to disguise yourself, if that is something that you were wanting to do. Maybe wearing a fake mustache to sneak into the villain's hideout.
Or to get a second free sample.
Or really the important thing, second free sample.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the morph power would be so clutch, because you can like alter your appearance and endless free samples.
Oh, fuck. We should have been the Power Rangers next time.
Next time. I'm pretty sure there's a Power Rangers TTRPG.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if there was.
Yeah. Insight to detect if something's an illusion. You can coerce someone through intimidation or demoralize. You can gather evidence with investigation. Just all of that kind of stuff. After skills, you get into advantages. Advantages are, let's think of those as non-superpower benefits that you have.
Like chutzpah.
Kind of like chutzpah. This would be things like your training. Like you have been training in having an accurate attack. So you can take a -5 penalty on your damage in order to take up to a +5 bonus on your to hit. Or maybe animal empathy. Animals like you. There's a lot of different combat-based advantages. Just generic kind of advantages relating to some of your skills. Just things like that. It can be anything from having a sidekick. This is where you would purchase a sidekick. To maybe having oh shoot, where is it? There's one in here about being rich. So if you want to be rich like a billionaire, you pump 5 points into the rich advantage. And
Advantages. So it sounds like they have tiers. A lot of them.
a lot
of
of them do. Some of them are just,
Here's how much it costs.
here's how much it costs. Well, let me backtrack. Each advantage only costs 1 power point, but there are some in which you can put multiple power points into to improve their effects.
Hog.
Yeah, things like having contacts,
Oh,
which
so
is
you
pretty
don't need
broad.
glasses.
So you don't need glasses. Pretty broad, but you have some inside knowledge on something. Yeah, generic benefits. Oh, that's where the wealthy is. But also as part of the benefit advantage, you can have an alternate identity, diplomatic immunity, security clearance, status, so you're just special for whatever reason.
You're like a socialite.
Yeah.
So heavy.
You can be Batman.
You can be Batman. Honestly,
keep on saying
advantages
that.
are kind of where you are Batman.
Yeah, you take a Louisville slugger to your opponent. I almost said something crazy. I'm not. And then you're Batman.
Isn't that Carrie Underwood though?
Yeah, both headlights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ugh, such a good song.
she is
It
Batman.
is. I heard it the other day and I was like, damn.
I guess she'd be Batman.
It's a bop. It will never not be a
Yeah, it was
bop.
in Pitch Perfect. It's gotta be good.
Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, one of them.
Oh.
Oh, probably the
I
third
think the
one.
second one.
I haven't seen the third one, and I hadn't known, but it's been years.
We should have a sleepover and watch all of them.
Yes,
The
I
end.
agree. I
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
And eat ice cream. Wait.
Okay,
Sorbet.
both. Why not?
Bofa.
There is one advantage that I would like to point out. Equipment. You can pump as many power points into that as you want. And for each 1 power point that you put into this, you get 5 equipment points. Now keep in mind, you can apply superpowers to pieces of equipment, but equipment can get taken from you.
But your pride never can.
Yeah.
Vegeta
Although if your equipment
principle
gets
thing.
taken from you, do you have much pride left?
Yeah. What if you named your equipment Pride?
Oh man, they took my pride.
That'd be good.
So okay, sorry. So you convert your power points into equipment points.
Mhm.
You get 5 of them.
Yep.
And then
I imagine you can spend equipment points for the equipment itself and also to apply abilities onto your
like
equipment.
extra
Yes.
equipment stuff.
Mhm.
So if it was like Spidey webs,
Mhm.
shooter things, then maybe you spend like 2 on that, but then each vial of Spidey web stuff would be 1. Is that
Uh,
like the kind of the
Don't
idea?
I wouldn't
or...
track ammo. I
Okay.
don't think ammo is kind of tracked.
I think it's
The
like
vibe would be you have your web shooters,
Mm-hmm.
and what you would want to put onto there is probably oh shoot, it would be something like create material or create object
Mm-hmm.
as a power that would be applied to the web shooters, and it would be limited to the form of spider webs,
Mm. Or
something like that,
bridges.
or bridges.
I think that's
Okay.
impossible.
No, not
Other
with my equipment points.
Another thing would be like Wonder Woman's shield or arm braces.
Mm-hmm.
They are indestructible,
Mm-hmm.
so you would apply the equipment points to give it indestructibility, and probably would also give it a little bit of
Shine.
barrier, I think is what it's called. It's
Okay.
one of the powers in there that increases your
So it's kind of like treating your equipment like a character in and of itself, giving it
Yeah.
extra little
It's like a vessel that can hold
salt.
abilities.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
nuance
cool.
is, like Damien said, you can lose it, right? So while it might be cheaper to give my sword immolate rather than myself,
Mhm.
someone can yoink my sword. Someone can't yoink me. Well, they could, but it'd be a lot harder.
Right.
Yeah. And also like that immolate thing would be kind of focused on the weapon rather than
Yeah, so I lose a sword, I can no longer immolate things
Mm-hmm.
unless we both have it.
Yeah.
which
Okay.
would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know what that word means,
Light it the fuck up. Is
because
what it means.
I think we talked about it before we started recording. So
You
I
burn-
didn't know that was a word until
Yeah,
I
you
saw
burn the
it.
shit out of it, I think, is like what Webster said.
Yeah.
Sick.
That shit's encased in fire. If you think of the Human Torch, you could say he self-immolates. So just what he does, but to other things that don't want to be on fire.
Mm. Unlucky.
Unlucky.
The other things that you can use with equipment points, though, are you can purchase vehicles.
Mm.
I'm getting a helicopter.
You're getting a
guys.
Porsche Taycan.
What?
Yeah, okay. I think honestly that
We're
would
gonna
be
be
pretty cheap.
rolling.
I think it would end up being maybe like for your helicopter, I think it's only like 20 equipment points.
Now I'm thinking a big helicopter, like an Osprey.
Okay, that one's probably going to be closer to like 25. I don't know the
Nice.
exact specifics.
Guys, that's only 5.
That's only 5
Um,
PowerPoints.
Keep it, yeah, it's really not that much. And you can also, they have templates in there for like generic ideas on the different like weapons or vehicles, but you can improve upon them or like make your own custom kind of a thing. They have rules in there for a fucking alien battleship if you want. That would just be sitting in orbit that maybe you could just, I don't know, have it rain down hellfire on your enemies.
Oh, like Himiko from Honkai Star Rail. She has a
Yeah.
satellite. She fires a laser from space. That
She's
shit's
so
sick.
cool.
She drinks tea.
Oh yeah, because her whole thing is she just sits back, drinks tea,
Mhm.
and then just laser
Beam from
fire.
space.
I mean, that's what I would do probably
Mhm.
too. So
If I had a
Get it.
satellite.
yeah.
And then a headquarters. I would recommend that we all talk about maybe sharing some of the equipment points to purchase a headquarters, but you can do a lot of weird shit with a headquarters. You can have a permanent dimensional gate open to another dimension, one where the color purple doesn't exist. I don't know. Just some other random dimension.
Listeners, Damien hates the color purple.
Hate the color purple.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, that is a movie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The color purple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't look at me
Yeah.
like I'm weird because I didn't know.
No,
that was a movie.
it's something to do with LGBTQ, isn't it?
No, it's more of a
it's
race.
about-
You didn't even
Yeah.
know.
No, maybe the color blue. Is that a different one?
While thinking about movie colors.
Man,
Yeah,
One
you
Piece-
can.
One
you
Piece
can,
movie Red was a good movie.
I think the color purple is about an interracial friendship. It's just friendship.
Yeah.
The best ship in the game.
oh, I'm thinking blue is the warmest color.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. Like I know what you're talking about. The brain knows. I don't. You know what I mean?
You can have it so that then the exterior is a lot smaller than the interior, kind of that Harry Potter tent aspect
Or
where
the
you walk in,
TARDIS.
or TARDIS. You can have it so that then time doesn't work the same inside of your headquarters. Perhaps inside of your headquarters, time moves extremely slow, kind of like the hyperbolic time chamber. Inversely, you can have it move really fucking fast. So you can walk in there, walk out, and it's been an entire day.
Or years, and then your problem went away with all your
Yeah.
enemies.
But so did everything else.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, maybe that's okay.
Just like time vultures, they just wait for you to die.
And then what?
Then
Are
they
those
eat
related
you.
to
Then
mind
you're
goblins?
dead, bro.
Very similar.
Okay.
They're both from Ligma.
I hate it here.
But yeah, you can kind of apply those points to just a collective headquarters that you might have. Moving on from advantages, this is when we get into the juicy stuff of powers. There are a lot of different powers available. They all work a little bit differently. Anything from like communication, which has a broad range of abilities associated to it. Though the way that they break down the powers is it looks at what are you trying to do, and that is the name of the power. You'll flavor it however you want, but what is it that you're trying to do? For instance, all four of them. If we take a look at the Human Torch, he would be his self-immolation thing. He would be creating an energy aura on himself, right? So the whole idea is that if anyone touches him, they take damage. It's just in his particular flavoring of it. It's an energy aura that deals damage with a fire descriptor because it's fire-based damage.
Mm-hmm.
What that means then is if you have a person who is immune to fire, they are not going to take any damage from that. In addition, you have something like affliction, where you can, I don't know, put someone to sleep if you want. It would be you are afflicting them with the status sleep. Communication.
Hello.
Communication is kind of an interesting one because it has a lot of different variations to it. Is it a visual, like a laser fiber optic link? Is it a radio? Is it some kind of mental telepathic communication sort of a thing? Yeah, just kind of a lot of different options within the communication power. In addition, with each power, you have things called extras. These will apply special modifiers to your power. So, for instance, with communication, you can have area. So you can broadcast an omnidirectional to every receiver within your communication range. So,
Are you cheating?
No.
Okay.
But
You just looked so
I
like,
know it looked
mischievous.
sus.
She was
but
looking real
I was
sneaky at my
I was
paper.
listening really hard to Damien, then he stopped speaking.
sorry,
And
I needed a drink.
then I had a little glitch and I was staring at Joseph's paper. I promise I was not cheating. Also though, is that a thing? Can you cheat off somebody's character sheet?
You were just doing it. So you tell us, misdemeanor.
No, I literally I was not
No.
here for a solid minute.
I have a
What did I
question.
even just hurt myself on?
What's up?
There's the powers profile PDF that
Yes.
has like archetypes and like general helping tools. But the Hero's Handbook has a powers section where it just gives us these descriptors, right? So like the self.
So think of the Hero's Handbook powers section as the actual rules. Mechanical rules.
And then
The power profiles PDF that we
Just
have,
helps
which is
gives
one of
us-
the supplements for Mutants and Masterminds,
it's just
they have pre-built powers
okay
in there
using those rules.
using
from-
these rules.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and they would have already applied some of the extras and things that you need on there, which does make the creation process a little bit easier if you'd like. But I think understanding like the base of the
What a power
is kind of important. So each of the powers I'll get to the extras again in just a moment, but each of the powers has like an action that they use up. So it's standard action, move action, free action, reaction, just the generic kinds of actions. Then there are ranges associated to them. A lot of times these powers are personal. So, like if you're flying, you can only fly with yourself unless you get an extra for it. Um, there are durations associated to it. Some of them are permanent, which just means it's always on. Some of them are sustained, so just while you're concentrating on it. And then there is a cost associated to it.
You gotta pay to play.
You got to pay to play. So, communication, for instance, costs 4 power points per rank in the skill. But the more ranks that you have in it, the larger range that you can communicate with.
Okay.
For instance, at one range or at one rank that is close range, 100 feet. That's it. All the way up to rank 5, which is unlimited, effective anywhere. And then if you apply an extra to it, allowing you to broadcast to every possible receiver within your maximum communication range all at once, you could apply that extra so you can communicate to the entire fucking galaxy, telling everyone about the benefits of Sukma. But that extra costs +1 PowerPoint per rank, meaning that instead of 4 per rank, it's now 5 per rank.
Okay.
You can apply as many of these extras as you want, but they are going to have increases. Some of them are per rank increases, like that area one. Some of them are what are called flat increases. So dimensional communication, so you can bridge between dimensions, that costs a flat 1 PowerPoint. So it doesn't increase power or points per rank above up to 5. It's just 1 extra point in order to be able to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like a one-time buy type deal.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Kind of going way back. If he is on fire and he hits me with fire damage, is that still toughness?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. What does he have to hit me with to not use toughness? Would I have to, is it just like mind-altering effects?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or disease.
Or disease. It will.
The toughness is your physical resilience. It doesn't matter the source.
Fortitude is for diseases.
Fortitude.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
You may resume time.
Okay. The way that you can start kind of like cutting down on PowerPoint cost is with flaws. So similar to extras, flaws can be applied. That will make your power less useful, but also save on some of that PowerPoint cost.
Okay.
For instance, sticking with communications, limited. So it can be limited to certain groups or perhaps to a certain medium. Like maybe you can only communicate through
Fireflies.
There has to be fireflies there that then will form the shape of the words that you're trying
That's kind of sick.
to portray.
Should be so cute.
Imposing that limitation will reduce the cost by 1 PowerPoint per rank. So instead of 4, it's down to 3 now.
Or instead of 5, it's down to 4 again.
Exactly.
As long as there's fireflies on the moon.
Yeah, which
Maybe.
surely.
We're not going to be on the moon. Just bring a jar of fireflies with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, easy. Honestly, that's
bucket.
probably what
Yeah,
you
all your
have to
homies
do.
will just have a jar of fireflies.
Yeah, when I was looking at it, I was thinking of like only being able to communicate through like electrical technology like TV screens or radio. So that then like you'd have like little ear receivers that then I could communicate with. But
Oh, I should just make Psyche.
Yo, everyone should just wear headphones. You say Psyche K? That's crazy. That's a good reference.
there are too many powers, too many little weird stipulations that go into it. Just know that there's a lot of different things that you can do in here. Damage effects, deflect effects, force fields, morphing, summoning. There's even something called a variant power where it's like, I don't know, bro, I just control light. So I guess I can just do a lot of stuff with light. and it allows pretty unique flexibility where you can almost like make up your power each instance that you use it.
Mm.
It's a little bit complicated, but overall, like, pretty cool. Immortality is dope because if you die, you come back. But it has a flaw on there where there's like a reasonably common way that you can like stay dead. For instance, a vampire would probably have immortality with the limitation of stake through the heart.
And you're to blame.
And you're to blame. If that stake is ever removed, the vampire comes back.
Is that in lore?
Yeah.
Is that in vampire lore?
Mhm.
I didn't know
You
that.
never
I thought
watched
they were
Vampire Diaries?
It
No.
depends on the
the medium.
Yeah.
It does depend
That's
on
the
the
lore in
medium. I
Vampire
think
Diaries.
Sun will just straight up KO.
You turn to ash.
Some vampires
some-
hop.
Hop.
I think it's Japanese vampires. I could be wrong on that.
Are
but
they
hop.
vampires? The hop?
Yeah.
I know what
Some
you're talking-
vampires sparkle.
I'm just saying there's a lot of lore.
There is a lot of vampires.
We're gonna need to play Vampire the Masquerade at some point.
I genuinely really want to.
As do I.
Yeah.
I think
Dibs on being Edward.
I love you guys a lot. If we were vampires, bro, I think I'd be the coolest one, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck and you guys be
Why?
cool too. I'd be sick as fuck, bro.
Why would you be cooler
Why
than
you
us?
specifically?
I just got that W Riz.
Are we
you know?
fighting?
I mean, do you disagree?
I think I'm pretty cool.
I think you're cool too. I just don't think you're as cool as Vampire Mate. I don't think Vampire You is as cool as Vampire Mate. Also, how are you gonna get inside doors? You gonna ask them to invite you in?
Yeah. Why not?
What are you gonna
Where
do?
the fuck
I'ma
do
do
I
it.
go?
Con I Joe.
I go here. This is where I am always. What do you mean? I don't have to be invited in because
do.
I don't go anywhere.
Okay.
That's fair.
Do you have to be invited into stores?
I was just thinking
Literally-
the same thing. I was like, wait,
I'm like,
can
man,
I
that
go
might
to
be
the
an
grocery
issue.
store?
Hey,
I
there's
wonder
an
if there's
open
like,
sign.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like.
So
a
you are being
invitation.
invited
as
in.
long as it's open.
As long as you've seen one ad for that store.
But that
Yeah.
means that you couldn't be like a
but then what
vampire
about the
thief.
people who have the like?
It
it
come
would be
on
very
in.
hard to
You
be a
couldn't
vampire.
go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore though around vampires and whether
Well, you
they
could
can
be
or
a
cannot
vampire
break
thief.
into stuff.
Don't they not show up on cameras?
Well, yeah, but
For sure, but like
But
if
you
you're
can
not
just do it during the
invited
day.
in.
oh wait.
You just do it in the middle of the fucking day.
She's fucking me.
and
She
then
might be a
people-
better vampire than me. You know what I mean?
People check the cameras and are like, bro, what? Did
But then
all
we gotta
have,
worry
like, a
about sunlight.
collective-
I'm stealing your
Oh,
concept.
true. Just
You
wear a
can't
sun
stop
umbrella.
me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad we got.
We'll just do it in Alaska during the winter.
Okay.
Immunity is another one.
It's very specific.
With that one, it's you put in ranks, and the more ranks that you put in, you can be immune to different things. You do kind of have to like limit it down to specific things.
So, is it one rank per type of immunity, or is it
So,
the ranks affect how little that thing affects me?
No, it's going to be like at one rank, you can be immune to aging, disease, poison, one environmental condition, one type of suffocation. So, like,
How many types of suffocation are there?
drowning versus
No breathing.
alien atmosphere versus space.
Isn't
Isn't it drowning just drowning?
That's this is just what I'm reading from here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were reading from some. I thought you were just giving examples.
2 ranks would be like immune to critical hits. 5 ranks would be you can't be your senses can't be messed with affliction effects.
so?
At 20 ranks, a very common power descriptor like bludgeoning you are completely immune to. 30 ranks, you're completely immune to will effects. 80 ranks,
You're God.
you are completely resistant to toughness.
Okay, so anything that would involve
That's
your
wild.
toughness, you just go now.
Ugh.
So what if I wanted to be immune from fire and ice? Can I not do that? Or would that
That would
be
be
2 ranks?
2 different ranks in there, which would probably be 10 ranks each. For a common power descriptor such as all effects with cold, electricity,
Okay.
fire, radiation,
Cool.
or weather, or something like that.
Cool. Thank you.
And then, do I need to do that for my own powers?
No, you will not be affected by your own
Okay.
powers
Unless you want to be.
unless you really want to be. This would be from external forces
Yeah.
messing with you.
Okay.
imagine.
He's coughing.
Just you light yourself on fire and you're like, oh, not again.
I remember something where like there was some comic where he got like doused in radiation or something. He's like, oh sweet, I've got super strength, and he like punches a tree down, and then he lifts up his fist and it's all broken and mangled, and he's like, I really wish it came with super
Invulnerability.
super
Healing
invincibility or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it would be invulnerability.
It's like that guy on One Piece, the hypnotist guy, but he also hypnotizes
Oh,
himself.
That guy
He
is
gets
just
me every
fucking
time.
He's
wild.
so funny.
Yeah, so powers. There's a lot of them. Down past the powers section, it gets into the effects and flaws that you can apply. These are ones that can apply to most, if not all, powers. So they don't have it like just reiterated over and over and over
Oh.
again on each of the different powers. They separate it into something else.
Never mind.
What's up?
I was gonna say, but then I answered in my head. But like I was gonna say, the flaws of earlier were power specific, right? You would apply
Yeah.
that flaw to that specific power.
Yes.
These are my life flaws.
Are these ones later?
Yeah.
No. These are just more.
No, I know. I was just being edgy.
Oh, okay.
These are just universal flaws.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In the advantages, well, it's not in advantages. I'll get back to that. There are some really weird extras. One of them is called alternate effect, which is a flat 1 or 2 points, where basically the idea is that you have 2 powers, but you can only use one of them at a time. So you spend your 1 or 2 points to be able to basically have one power that's like 30 points, and then just completely swap it out for another power that's like 30 points. The idea being like, hey, maybe you can summon up a bunch of lightning creatures that can start attacking for you, but you can like draw them back into yourself to enhance your own lightning abilities. That's the kind of idea with it. There's a whole bunch of those. There are... Yep, now we're getting into like gadgets and gear.
We're over time.
Wasn't that equipment?
Yeah, this is equipment. I'm not gonna go too much into this. We've already talked about it enough, I think. Just know that there's also like a whole inventing thing where you can create like a one-time use item with an invention check. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. There's a supplement called Gadget Guides, which has anything from like archaic weapons of just a sword or like a mace or something, all the way to like alien blasters and crazy shit. They're again pre-built or maybe expand upon the options for different pieces of equipment, but that is something that we can look into.
A fighter jet costs 66 points. Just so you know.
There you go. And I bet if you look at it, it will have various different weapons with damage descriptors and everything on there.
Do you think we're gonna use a fighter jet?
Any jet's a fighter jet if I'm in it.
Yeah. That was very delayed. Sorry. My microphone was further away than I thought it was.
I am gonna get a private jet, but flavor it
Rose
as
gold.
an osprey with no weapons.
And it
Cool.
doubles as a food truck.
Yes,
Okay.
For when we're
Does it
feeling
really?
peckish.
kind of.
That's so cool.
Well, we'll have to figure out the actual equipment cost for
Okay.
that, because since you are removing weapons from it.
Because like
It
a
will
private
be
jet
cheaper.
doesn't have
Oh
weapons.
yeah, private jet doesn't have weapons.
How much is a private jet?
It's 19 points. And a normal helicopter is 16, but like it's bigger than a normal helicopter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
19?
yeah. I think it would be around there. But again, we're gonna have to look at the
Okay,
very
okay.
specifics on there, because I think what you would have to do is spend equipment points in order to increase the, not the mass, but the volume of it.
The
Which
It's
would-
really loud.
Okay.
Um, do. Oh shoot, there's like one other thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's right, complications and motivations. So it is recommended usually to have one complication and one motivation with your character. I mean, each superhero has something weird in their past, like they feel responsible for their uncle being dead, but they are just trying to do good as their motivation. You have Captain America, who I don't know, probably has a whole complication of
Best
like
Avenger.
being a member of Hydra, but has the motivation of patriotism. We will be selecting those as well. Yeah, but we have gone on for quite a bit. Someone else talk.
I know what I want to do. Gravity. Oh, but before I talk about gravity, do we want to spend some points now for base points? Do we want a base? Or do we want treble?
Ridiculous.
I mean, I think it's
Oh,
all about
man.
that base. About that base.
No treble.
So,
I
because we can all
Need a nap.
agree to give up 15, 10, 5. I don't know what a good number is, but X amount of points now.
Towards the base.
I don't know if that's what the people want. I don't know if we want a base. I'm
Yeah,
asking.
And that's the thing. Like, do we want to like work out of my food truck Osprey, or
I
or do
think
we
this,
want like a place to park it?
I think this needs to be answered first by a
Gemini,
bigger
today's sponsor.
question, which
we-
is
Do we live together? Are we
like
roommates?
what's the vibe of the team?
Ooh.
I would
Because
think
like
that we're
have we
bros.
been working together? Are we a new team?
Tell us.
Maybe we're
not God.
We're poor.
I'm
What the
not
fuck?
God here.
Maybe we're poor. So
Well,
we
you
just
have to be
share
part
a
of this
base 'cause we can't
conversation
afford our
anyway.
own base.
Yeah, like maybe we maybe we just don't have any.
We went to like
better thing
Craigslist,
to
but for
do.
superheroes.
Yeah,
We're-
I feel like that's something we should probably talk about though, because like
I
I
agree.
don't mind us having a base if it makes sense for.
I think it's okay if we have
Yes.
a modest base.
What does that
Bases
mean?
aren't that expensive too. I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at them right now. We can get a skyscraper for 17 points.
Yeah, but then
What's
do
in
we
it?
want shit
5
in it?
floors. Communications, computer, defense system, fire prevention system, gym, hangar, infirmary.
Is that all-
Infirmatory.
Are you reading stuff we could buy or stuff it comes with?
Stuff it comes with.
Oh shit!
If
comes
I'm
with a
reading
gym?
this right,
He's reading it wrong.
I
New
think you
sample-
probably are reading it correctly.
there's sample
Let's get a
headquarters
skyscraper,
as
bro.
ready-made layers.
Okay.
I wouldn't call 5 stories a skyscraper.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
When I was
No,
messing around
I think
with
we
this,
own
I-
5 floors in
Of
the
a sky,
skyscraper.
it's like a hero
No.
skyscraper.
No, I think. Well, it
How
might
tall are
say
these
5.
floors?
Does it say 5
says
floors? for
5
that one?
How
floors.
low is this sky we're scraping?
Yeah, so
And
we're
the-
talking
the
like
one-
the top of Avengers
That's what I
Tower.
wanna know.
In the one that I was fucking around with, we had a private island
Nice.
because
I
I
know that.
applied the I think it was isolated feature.
Oh, that'd
To
be-
a sea base, which only costs 16 points.
A sea base.
It's actually pronounced
Yeah.
bass.
What if we want to make it invisible?
We'd never
We're
be
gonna
able to
lose it.
find it.
You can't see the base.
People
God
just,
damn it!
people would just see us floating. We're
Okay,
not invisible.
I vote
She's voting.
we take a second. We chat about it. We come back
Okay.
Welcome to chat about it.
Bye.
because I think we're all on very different pages potentially, and as fun as it is for us to just bullshit,
Okay.
our listeners
That's what literally
Might-
why they're here.
for sure. That's all they're here for. But
And
they might benefit from us not talking circles
That's fair.
and getting them confused, since we are also
That's fair,
confused.
that's fair, that's fair.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. We'll see you in like 2 seconds your time.
We'll never see you again.
I've never seen you before in my life.
I've seen some of you.
That sounds really creepy.
Hey, listeners. So it's a little more than 2 seconds. And by that, I mean we never actually finished the session 0 on mic. So this is the end of session 0 for Mutants and Masterminds. And we'll introduce our characters in the next episode. So goodbye forever. And don't forget that you're stinky.
Think about that.
We can have a moon base.
What would it be?
On the moon?
I don't know.
Would
It would
just
either
look-
be on the moon or on someone's butt.
I would.
Yeah, we should
It could-
pause.
No, that's going to be at the end.